Hey guys, welcome to LALoveCreative, and today we're talking about how to use a portrait lens and also the best portrait lens for your Sony camera. If you haven't, make sure you hit the bell so you stay notified when we post new videos. Cue to the intro. Now on this channel, I've reviewed a good amount of portrait lenses. I do a lot of fashion photography. I shoot a lot of people, so I'm always on the lookout for the best lens for the Sony cameras. And I've done a couple reviews on them. I've done the Sony 100mm G Master. I've done the Batis 85, Batis 135, Sigma 135, and the 85 G Master, which I'm kind of gonna use as a comparison for this video. Now, in my travels, what am I hitting the Old Town Road? What am I talking about? In my experience using different lenses, I'd have to say the best portrait lens for your Sony camera is the Sony 85mm. It's $600, and I don't know how Sony did this. So recently I had a shoot with some models. I was doing a fashion shoot for an agency I work with, and I started thinking about what's the best portrait lens? What lens should I take with me on this shoot? Not only is this lens comparable to the G Master, which is $1,800, but I would have to say that this lens beats it in a lot of ways. If you take the 85 Sony and put that against the G Master and take the same shot, same setting, same everything, I don't think anybody would be able to tell the difference which lens is which. And that's crazy. Another reason why I love the 85mm lens is got a customizable button, just like the G Master lens. And I think that's a great addition. And normally cheaper lenses don't get that type of functionality. Now that I've talked about how great the 85mm lens is, I'd have to say, let's talk about why use a 85. Now, a lot of beginner photographers, when they finally get their camera, they're using zooms, they're using, whatever kind of kit lens they get with their camera. I'd have to say that that's totally cool. If you're starting out and you're just trying to learn how to shoot photography, use your kit lens, really get good at different things. But once you finally realize, okay, I want to shoot people, I want to do portraits, you're gonna want to get a portrait lens. When you shoot a telephoto lens like the 85, it's going to compress your image. What that is gonna do is actually give you more of a narrow field of view, and it's gonna make a lot of your features smaller and leaner. That's why a lot of people like to shoot portraits, they like to shoot fashion work with this lens, because it's gonna make you look a little bit slimmer and just really highlight your features better. For example, a lot of the Victoria's Secret models like Miranda Kerr, which I did a video with Miranda Kerr, I did some behind the scenes work with them for Reebok, and they used a 100mm lens on her, because most fashion photographers are using telephoto lenses to do portraits. What I love about the 85mm lens from Sony is it doesn't compromise in any way, really. I think the autofocus works really, really well on that lens. I'd have to say that when tracking, I would say maybe the G Master 85 is a little bit faster with tracking, but I never had a problem with my 85. One thing I really like about the Sony 85mm versus the G Master 85, this Sony 85mm is still compact. It's still small and it's lightweight, and you don't feel like it's this big lens. If you use like the Sigma 85, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's just not that big of a lens, and I think that's great. When it comes to sharpness, the Sony 85mm, when it comes to sharpness, if you're shooting in person with this lens compared to the G Master, the Sigma, you're probably not gonna see a difference in sharpness at all when it comes to the eyes, the face, stuff like that. One thing I would say the G Master probably does a little bit better at is corner-to-corner sharpness. For a photographer like me who shoots primarily people, having corner-to-corner sharpness is not really a big deal. If you're shooting landscape, I could see that being an issue for you. I'm not the biggest sharpness fan. For example, actually, a lot of times when I'm shooting with big clients, big brands, a lot of times they'll pick the image and it'll be the less sharp image, because to the eye, most people see sharpness as in focus or not in focus. And that's all I have to say about this Sony 85mm lens and how to use it for portrait photography. If you have any questions regarding photography or videography, let me know in the comments below, and I will see you later. See you next time.